everyone, welcome to Buckle Up Podcast. I'm Natalia Earl and I'm a certified business and life coach that loves talking to people. I'm fascinated by humans and how our brain works. What is it that makes a decision good or bad, and how does that decision ultimately shape our path and destiny? Everyone loves to talk about success, but what about the flip side? How about adversity, failure? It's such a big and often necessary part of life, and it's simply unavoidable. So I invite you to join me on this inspiring, honest, unpolished interview show with breathtakingly real conversations that go deep on setbacks and hardships that are part of the puzzle that ultimately lead to growth, discovery of inner greatness, and what makes us resilient. Grab your helmet and buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But what a ride it will be. Today's guest, Melanie Lippman, is a stylist who believes that confidence is a woman's most important asset, because when you're feeling fabulous, you're ready to take on the world. Growing up, her family had an accessory store, and there was nothing she loved more than picking out great pieces for their customers. Melanie has always been passionate about helping people express their confidence with style. From taking classes at the Fashion Institute of Technology as a teenager to studying fashion merchandising and cosmetic and fragrance marketing in college, she has immersed herself in the fashion world. After becoming a mom, Melanie decided it was time to create the career she always wanted, to teach women how to style their best lives. She returned to FIT to learn the science behind creating incredible, confidence-inspiring looks. With certificates in image and color consulting, she focused on building her amazing business, finding new ways to use innovative technology and transform her clients' most important style resource, their closets. What is your styling philosophy, Melanie?
So mine is different than most people that work in my industry. I actually get very frustrated by most people that work in my industry. And a lot of intake calls that I have with clients, they go, "You're different." And I find that most people that do what I do are focusing on shopping and finding people more stuff and just buying and buying and buying. And I completely understand that. Like I mentioned, I grew up in retail. I worked in wholesale. I've been inside of every single store in their back room, no matter if it was Zara to like the back of Bergdorf Goodman. Like I understand retail, and you're just supposed to sell people more and more stuff is basically the philosophy of it. And I have the opposite approach because I was like a shopaholic. And so my approach is really has to do with building a wardrobe that supports you and taking a step back. And there's a reason why we stand in front of our closets that are jam-packed with so much clothes and we go, "I have nothing to wear." It's because we did some things wrong and we missed some steps. So until we get really clear about why we find the stuff that we own isn't working for us and put a strategy and a framework into play, we can't ever feel like our closet is ever going to work for us. And also a key part of that is a lot of the things that have to do with us getting dressed, us shopping, us accepting a compliment, were formed in our brains way before we knew it was actually happening. So from our childhood, when all the good things happen, but we really need to get clear about what are our thoughts and our feelings about it, how they affect and influence, and get to rewrite them. Because so much stuff comes up with clothes. It's body image issues. It's investing in yourself. It's the time.
What is the biggest limited belief that comes up working with clients that you have noticed?
It's body image issues. And I understand it. Like I, and my own challenges all started from all of those things. I was raised by people that yo-yo dieted, and all of those things were mirrored to me, Diet Coke, this and that. Don't invest in yourself until you are, the perfect size 4 and all of that. So I feel that I had my own challenges with it. I used to hide in my clothes. That was the biggest thing all the time, is I would buy pants a little bit bigger and cover and cover and cover and all of those things. Like we all do it, like in some respect. And my job is to help you use clothes as your superpower and not to hide. So I constantly am hearing from women, I'm going to work with you when I lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to book speaking engagements when I lose the weight. I'm going to do all of that. And just kind of just keep kicking the can down the road. And like I said, I did it for years, even when I knew the tools. Like that was my thing, is like, I have all of the tools. Like I know how to, make myself look the way that I want to. But when your mind gets in the way, you can't do that. And that's why I think it's so important for what I've created is a formula. So you can't fight the math. Like, if 1 + 1 = 2, it's the same thing. Like this outfit equals this form of success. So the goal is really to focus on controlling how you show up, feeling good in your clothes, and not holding yourself back. Because I find that so many women just say, I'll do it then, I'll do it then, I'll do it then. And it's just, you just feel worse and worse. And like, you need to show up for your clients and your people and your family today. Like they're not waiting for you.
And is style something that we are born with?
So it's interesting. I always say, if you have an opinion, you have a style, because since the majority of my clients are very type A, and every single way that is shown to us to figure out what our style is very creative. It just doesn't feel like it's them. So that's why they're like, this is so not my thing. Like, I don't have time. I don't have energy for it. But what I've created is a really interesting framework to help them self-identify what their style is. And once they realize that there is something that they have control over, and there's a message and a reason behind it, that's when they can get behind it. It's so much more than pretty outfits. So while asking if style is something that we're born with, it's not, there's people like someone like me that literally was showing it since I was born.
But do you believe that even today we are still judged by the way that we are dressed and by our appearances?
Yeah. I mean, I have clients that say to me all the time, shouldn't my client hire me or want to work with me because of the service I can provide, or because of my schooling, or because of my knowledge? And yes, absolutely, they should. But there's biases, like when, especially knowing that a lot of my clients are attorneys, like they go in and they assess the situation within 5 seconds. They're like, what can I figure out about this person? And they're forming conclusions based upon how they're presenting themselves, how they're holding themselves, their body language. And clothing is our largest form of nonverbal communication. So if you want to have someone think about you in a specific way, taking the control back and really thinking about how you're presenting yourself is the way that you're going to create a strong connection with someone. And that's what everyone wants. Like everyone wants to have that connectivity and the mix of approachability and confidence and all of the things. And that's what clothing gets to do for us.
And do you offer ongoing styling for your clients?
So my clients work with me in 2 ways, really. It's kind of how we start off. They all have to go through this very specific proven framework. And so they can do it through a group coaching program, or they can do it one-on-one with me. And it always is, like I said, it's a system. It works. Whenever we skip a step, I realize that I have to go back and have to re-explain, because part of what this is you can't just have the clothes hanging in the closet. You have to actually physically put them on and to feel confident in them. That's why a subscription box, working with a personal shopper or a stylist, or going into a store and having a salesperson help you, you start to become a version of them and not really you. And unless it's deep within you're not going to feel confident. You're not going to feel that it's you. So we go
Yeah, that's amazing. It just really hits home because like I know how to dress well professionally and you know, showing up like business casual, but when it comes to going out, oh man, I always struggle. Like I have
And
nothing to
like,
wear.
I always get the text or like the message. I have a girls trip in 2 weeks, and it's like and then it's like this one, goes to the gym 7 times a day. This, like, you start to hear like who the people that are there, and like some of the insecurities start coming up. So there's just, because there's different facets of who you are in these situations. So like if you went to a soccer field or if you went to like a bar wearing your work clothes, you're going to be thought of as stuffy and not fun and
For
not knowing
sure.
that aspect of your personality. But that's the clothes that are in your closet. So it's really about having a mix and match wardrobe now more than ever. Like
Mhm.
you need to have everything kind of meshed together than having work clothes, weekend clothes. Now it needs to just all live together.